Yo, it's time for the college football playoffs, and we kicking it off. Michigan against TCU. You got Georgia against Ohio State. Who you got? You know what I'm saying? First of all, the Michigan game, I'm going with Michigan all day because obviously TCU is the underdog, but they had a great year. They lost their last game, but they had a great year. But Michigan is going to run the football. Even when it doesn't look like it's working, they're gonna run the football. Like in the Iowa game, they had to figure some stuff out because the run game was not working. But what I wanted to remind Michigan of is get your feet together and throw the ball as well, because JJ McCarthy is definitely capable of doing so. And you saw that in the Ohio State game as they figured out how to pass and how to run. And the run game even picked up in the second half as well. So the run game is going to be there. Even without Blake Corum, I'm so hurt that he ain't going to be able to play because that gives you that extra edge. But Michigan's running game is seemingly a machine. It can operate with or without Blake Corum. We saw that. Donovan Edwards definitely picked up the slack and did what he had to do. So being that TCU loves to run a 3-3-5, I believe everyone says, they used to pass offensive and spread offensive, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know that they're going to be able to really change that much and stack the box and do it well to stop Michigan from running the ball. So of course they better change up and try to do something about the run, but Michigan can beat you with the pass too. It's already been proven. You know, they just have to show up and make the plays that they've given you. Make the plays, don't drop passes, don't overthrow the ball, and this, that, and other. And they proved they could do that against Ohio State. So as long as you make the plays that they give you and then make the stops that you need to make, because these big games are going to really rest on those type of plays. Can you get some stops when you need it? You know, and the Michigan defense is great too. So can you get some stops? Because those stops are gold in these type of games. When you're going up against these type of offenses, you know, the Ohio States and the Georgias and this, that, and that, it's gold when you can stop teams in their tracks. And then it's also gold when you make the plays that they give you. You cannot go into these games making mistakes, making frivolous penalty mistakes, and then missing throws or dropping passes. We saw that in the Celebration Bowl with Deion Sanders and Shedeur. Shedeur drops it over to my man for the overtime touchdown. Bloop. Bloop. You can't do that in these big games because it's going to equal an L. And Michigan has proved themselves against Ohio State. I believe they're going to prove themselves against TCU. But Georgia is another bulldog, you know what I'm saying, to be had. Georgia, from what I hear, I haven't watched much this year, but Georgia is a powerhouse on both sides of the ball. I believe they got the best defense in the period this year. So, I mean, they was loaded last year and they didn't reload it again. And you saw what they did to Michigan last year. Whooped us like we stole something. So listen. Before we get to the overall championship picks, you know, I'm going to do that in a later video. But it's some challenges for Ohio State here. It's some challenges here because CJ Stroud just, even though Ohio State only lost the one game to Michigan this year, which we beat y'all like y'all stole some, Ohio State just hasn't looked as good this year. Even though they only have the one loss, they just don't look like the powerhouse that they usually are. You understand what I'm saying? They winning, but they don't look like they normally do. And then facing Georgia, which is that good on both sides of the ball, I think Ohio State is in trouble. But who knows? Any given Sunday, you know, all you got to do is show up and show out. Make the stops you're supposed to make. Play the, you know, make the plays you're supposed to make. Maybe you can pull it off. But that's a big maybe, though, because Georgia is not going to be playing. So obviously they are heavily favored to win the game against Ohio State, and I think they will do so. And so it's just left to say TCU and Ohio State is the underdogs. Can you fight and pull off an upset? You know, the Ohio State game would be more of an upset than the TCU to Michigan game. Of course, you know, TCU is not expected to win that game, but I think it would probably be a bigger surprise seeing as how CJ Stroud has looked this year. I think it would be a bigger surprise if Ohio State won this game. I don't even know if I expect it to be that close. But I don't know. But what do you think? Who is your pick? My picks in this first program. And why is the college playoff only 4 teams? I'm irritated with that. I want the college playoff to be expanded into kind of like a real playoff type of deal. At least 16 teams, I think, would be nice to see. Give us a little more football, you know. I know we can't get enough, right? We can't get enough. But I'm just saying, I would like to see it more of a, you know, maybe not, you know, like NCAA basketball tournament. I don't know if I want to see 64 teams in there, but I think a solid 16 teams, and then break that down, boom, boom, boom. You know, because we gave it like since I think it's been like 3 weeks since then. Like, you know, let it go to 16-8, then 8-4, and then 4-2, and then the championship. You know, I think that would kind of give a little more room for some more upsets and some more teams to get in there and show what they can do. You know what I'm saying? Because just like we love NCAA basketball in the March Madness, it's always an upset happening. There's always a big play. It's always something going on. It's like, oh my God, they beat such and such. Like, how did they pull that off by 1 point? And I think some of that would be beneficial to college football as well, you know, because it seems to be like every year, I'm not going to say the same teams, but, you know, it seems to be, and maybe that will change with all the NIL deals and the portals going forth, because a lot of teams are jumping, a lot of players are jumping ship. We saw a lot of players jumping ship from Alabama, and, you know, due to the NIL name and likeness deals that's going on. So you never know how that's going to be affected going forth. Maybe we start to see some teams in the Final Four that in the playoff that are not usually there. But, you know, it's usually the same rotation of teams that's usually in or around the playoffs. But I would like to see the playoff be expanded to about 16 teams, you know, just to make it a little more interesting, see who can get in and who can create some upsets and this, that, and other. But my picks for today are Michigan to win over TCU and for Georgia to win over Ohio State. This your boy Pete Camp. Let me know who you got for today. Merry New Year. As my dog Eddie Murphy would say, get at your boy. Put something in the comments for your boy too, man. Get at your boy.